Hello, my beloveds, and it's another Monday sermon. First, I'm going to welcome you into this sacred space and ask that we just take a moment, take a deep, deep breath, and just be present within here. And my intention and blessing for all of us is that we leave this sermon not only more peaceful, but with a resting place that we're going to facilitate within these next few moments, and a resting place we can take with us and access at any point that we need. A resting place. Just take a deep breath with that. So it's another Monday sermon, and with that, I just have to make the announcement that I am not sure of the direction of these Hot Mess Ministries sermons at this point. The more I am embodying, the more I'm understanding that you can't plan for things. You can only be in a spontaneous moment. And yesterday, it just didn't feel right to do a Sunday sermon because it's no longer tied to my identity or purpose, or I no longer needed to validate my existence. So there was no need to do one yesterday. But I have been really wanting to share this resting place with you. So this is why I'm doing this Monday, Sunday sermon. So from now on, if there is a sermon, I really just don't know, it will be spontaneous. It could be on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Who knows? I might skip a week. I don't know. But just know if I'm not here, don't worry about me. I'm really deep into the embodying phase right now. And with that, I also just have to say to those of you that have emailed me and I have not responded, just know that I'm not ignoring it, but I'm just not in a place to be able to answer any questions. But instead of answering questions or responding, know that I am saying a prayer for everyone who is contacting me, that you realize your own highest divinity, because that is really the only prayer that we need, is just the remembrance of our own divinity. Because when we realize that within ourselves, nothing else out there matters. And I've talked about that before. Um, Now, I just want to just briefly touch base with the freedom that I have been feeling these past weeks since the last Monday sermon I did about um, polarity being a bullshit existence, and so we can't get it wrong. And as well as, don't even bother trying to get it right because it's a bullshit existence. Those are two bookends. It's cosmic humor. It should be hilarious. It should be hilarious and relieving and just, well, if I can't get it right and I can't get it wrong, if I can't lose and I can't win, then I'm just not going to play. So what happens there? What happens after that? That's when we get to really know that I am presence that is here. When I talk about embodying the Divine Mother, it's embodying the I am presence, which is what we all are. That's the God part in all of us, is the I am presence. And I have to give another shout out to that book series that I've talked about a couple times now by Joachim Wolfram. It's specifically the Crystal Dragon series. It's a 4-book series. It's meant for those who are far along on the path and are just at the final letting go, are at the embodiment phase. And I gotta tell you, having this has been a true gift, because while I've had to, let go of my identity here and who I thought I was and my purpose and my work and frankly, with any interaction, I've had these dragons to guide me to the next step. And so that's what I want to do with us right now. The Dragon series sort of gives an exercise of how you can access that I am presence. And just as a disclaimer, it can be a little scary for the human because it takes you to a place of emptiness. And with the human, especially when you are still tied to your identity or just in the process of letting go of these things that you identify with, you're afraid of disappearing. That's why we cling to our identities, because we're afraid of disappearing without them. But the beauty is when you let go of these false identities of what you think you need to validate yourself, you can get to the core of who you are, which is your I am presence. And we're going to do this together. Because the more you do this, the more you get to that resting place of the I am presence. And I'm not going to call it a formal meditation. I'm not one to do a formal meditation, but just to close your eyes and even just give it a half-assed effort. And the more often you go there, the more of the I am presence you bring back into your life. This is what I have been feeling like, oh, I'm going to go visit my core of who I am. And it is a resting place. And then you just bring more of that back to your life, your human life. And the more and more we practice that and go there, the more we bring back until we are just the I am presence. So I'm going to sum up just some of the information and exercises I have been learning from these blessed dragons. And if you're interested, then look at the 4 book series, the Crystal Dragon series, because it has been exactly what I've needed right now. So let's talk about the resting place. Let's face it, as humans, we don't rest. Especially awakening humans. When you're sleeping, you're still working. When you're sleeping, you're still releasing. You're still solving. Sometimes you're still helping, I'm helping in my sleep, or releasing in my sleep, or cleansing in my sleep, or teaching in my sleep. There's really no rest for the human, especially the awakening human, because it's a constant reframing, it's a constant affirming, it's a constant trading in for one to the other. I mean, we are working all the time. And it's no wonder so many of us get chronic fatigue. We're tired. As a human, there's truly no resting place, and we're taught as a culture not to rest. The busier you are, the more important you are, and the better you are. But when it comes to awakening and realizing that I am presence, we need to be less busy. We need to become more quiet. We need to go within more. In the past few years, I've stopped all the groups I was a part of, and my life is very small and very quiet and very peaceful. And that's what I've needed. I'm not going to say it's not boring sometimes, but boredom's okay too. It's okay too. But this resting place with the I am presence. So let's just state the intention right now of I am going to seek that resting place of the I am presence. And I'm going to walk you through it sort of like a guided meditation, okay? So just set your attention. I am going to find that resting place with the I am presence, and I am going to meet my highest self. This is what we're going to do right now, my brothers and sisters. So take a deep breath with that intention to meet your I am presence, and really just focus on your breath a little bit. I'm not going to make this a, foofy meditation, but I'm just going to guide you a little bit to imagine, close your eyes, it'll be easier, and I want you to imagine emptiness. Okay, and as I said, this can be scary to the human to imagine emptiness, but this is an emptiness. So go inside your mind, go inside your heart, and seek this emptiness. And this emptiness is so empty, it's not even dark. Dark is the combination of all colors. This is not a dark place. If it has to look like anything, it would probably be white, the absence of color. Kind of like that scene in The Matrix where Morpheus is teaching Neo about the Matrix. So imagine that white space just without the people, without the leather, without the guns. There's no guns there, but just this white space, okay? And your I am presence is this white space. There's no form. There's no point of awareness. There's not even a sphere of light. You are the emptiness. And with this, I just want you to breathe in this very peaceful emptiness of your I am presence that is totally content just as it is. The I am presence simply says, I exist. The I am presence says, I am that I am. There is no questioning of the I am presence. There is no searching. The I am presence doesn't need anything outside of itself. It is complete. So I want you just to focus on this emptiness, and that the awareness of your I am presence exists within and is this emptiness. Now, for me, when I was doing this, it highlighted my attachments. Like, well, I need my family with me. What about my family? Because, we think we're in emptiness, well, then we're alone. But I want you to know that your loved ones are fully divine and fully complete on their own. If we wanted to call them in, they would be there in an instant, even before you even finish the thought, and you could meld with your loved one. Not just spending time with, it would be a beautiful meld. So know that your loved ones are just a thought away. But this is not, we're not going to meld with our loved ones right now. We're actually just going to focus on the I am presence. So know that your loved ones are safe, whole, and complete with as they are, and just be in this emptiness. And in this emptiness, I want you to feel safety first, okay? Breathe in the safety. So as I said, the I am presence says only I exist. So say to yourself, I am that I am. I exist in safety. The human does not know safety, but we are in an energy right now that will not turn against us. We don't have to fight for it. We don't have to effort for it. We are just in complete safety. So the I am says, I exist in safety. And the I am presence also says, I exist in completeness. These are the two facets we are going to anchor within right now. I exist in safety, and I exist in completeness. So it's just an emptiness, an empty awareness that you are safe and you are complete. And the reason this is a resting place, my dear brothers and sisters, and I'm just going to say all the things we don't need to do. There are no loved ones to take care of. There is no food we need to eat. There is no money we need to make. There is nothing we need to fix. There is nothing we need to heal. There is nothing we need to intend. There is nothing we need to affirm. There is nothing we need to figure out. There is nothing we need to escape from. We don't need to distract ourselves. There's nothing we need to distract ourselves from. There is no one to take care of or tend to. There is no one to rescue or save. There is no one to blame or judge or criticize or compete with. We have no need for anything outside ourselves. We are complete. So just take a moment and think of all the things you don't have to do, because you are resting now in the safety and completeness of the I am presence that simply says, I exist. I exist. We don't even need to create here. And I find that to be a welcome respite, because when we're trying to create an polarity and separation, there is no permanent fulfillment there. So I am enjoying a respite from trying to create. When I'm embodied, I will create again from a place of non-distortion. But right now, I am enjoying the break. I don't have to create. So think about that. Whatever you're struggling with, you don't need a job. You don't need to fix a relationship. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. You don't need to convince yourself of anything. You don't have to perfect anything. You are safe. You are complete, just as you are right now. So just take a few deep breaths with that and cultivate it in any way you need. Sink really deeply into the feelings of safety and completeness, knowing that nothing can ever turn against you. You are fully supported right now in this moment. Breathe that in. I am so relaxed and blissed out from that. That is when you know you are getting in touch with the I am, when you can just allow yourself to float in that bliss of nothingness, the emptiness of just being. This is a place that we need to cultivate within ourselves, because that is where our true self is. This is our true self. This is who we are before creation. And when we access those feelings of safety and completeness, we bring that back to our human lives. And I can only attest that, all right, well, if we're going to freeze, we're going to freeze. I can only attest that spending time here and there throughout the day in the I am this past week has made this week just flow in a beautiful way, just bringing back that I am presence. And so you can do this with safety and completeness, because that is what we most need right now as humans. And then we can cultivate other things within that too, whether it's the love of self. I exist in love. I exist in beauty. Go for the feeling of it. Go for the expression of it. Trying to manifest, use it to manifest things that we want with our small human, it won't work. So don't try, it's futile. But if we can cultivate those feelings of safety and completeness and love, and today I was feeling under the weather, and I knew I was not supposed to try and heal or avoid the sickness, so I just said, I'm going to let my body do whatever it needs to do. I'm closing my eyes because the stalling of my camera is so distracting. So just close your eyes until I tell you to open them, because I know you can still hear me. I brought in the feelings of comfort and peace. So safety and completeness will always come first with me, but you can add other things to that, like just like I said, peace and comfort and love and serenity, whatever means something to you. And now I've really just, I don't know. I know when you're talking high vibrational stuff, it can affect the stuff. I turned off my computer so this wouldn't happen, and it's continuing to happen. So just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Okay. So as I said, this resting place of the I am is really the only rest we will get. But the more we rest there, the more we can rest in our lives. This is the resting place. This is our true selves. And this is what I want you to take away from this, this is what my I am presence is. The more we go there, the more we become familiar with it, and the more we become it. So take this resting place of the I am with you. I'm sorry this is going on so long. It's starting to irritate me, but whatever. Okay. So, another beautiful gem I learned. Divine Mother, will you please stop this camera freezing? Just do it. Okay, technical difficulties. They're not mine. Speaking of they're not mine, this is a gem that I learned from the Crystal Dragons, and this is also something that is very, very freeing. I'm thinking I'm just going to pause this. I'm going to have to just pause this because this is going on too long before we start the second part of this. All right, I'm pausing it and we'll come back to this. All right? All right.